Hello, and welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. We are your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me, as always, he just got back from a nighttime stroll with Aemond Targaryen. He's got a little sand in his butt cheeks. It is my guy, Scotty Westside.
Yeah, that sand gets everywhere, man. You know, I couldn't sleep, so I had to take a walk. There definitely wasn't anything, else going on. Everything we were doing was above board, just a routine niece-uncle stroll.
I always pictured you more of an Anakin, not really liking the sand.
I really don't, actually. Yeah, I'm
It's just so coarse.
It gets everywhere. It's so rough and irritating. Way bigger mountain guy than beach guy, obviously.
Totally.
It's not even a contest.
Oh yeah,
to be real.
No question.
Yeah, no question.
Oh man, how you doing tonight, pal?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm
Feeling a little sicky poo.
Well, I'm not really sick. We had
You're just a bitch.
A staff appreciation event night tonight, and I ate too much, and I just feel.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah, you never feel good when you eat.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. I certainly don't.
Hey, you look good, pal.
Oh, thanks, bud. appreciate you noticing.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what your takeaways from this episode are.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think just to kind of, well, hold on. We're back, guys. Everybody, welcome back to the show. We're here talking House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 7.
Hot D!
Driftmark is the name of this week's episode.
Yeah, we got
told by
kind of a bottle episode almost.
I mean,
a Driftmark
true
sized bottle, but
Yeah. Man, I think this episode was mostly good stuff. I don't think I felt extremely in awe, but I think it was better than last week. I think it was probably around the same feel as last week.
I don't think I have extreme feelings about this episode one way or the other. I think It was totally fine for everything that it attempted to do, but there wasn't really anything that blew me away either.
Sure.
I don't know.
I think it's telling a good story.
Yes.
And for that, kudos.
Right.
I'm super bought in.
For sure.
The episode just felt like kind of your average hey, let's go ahead and move the story.
Right. It felt like a very, hey, we need to move this story along, and we need to move it along quickly, especially towards the end,
Yes.
Which I'm sure we'll get to. But there wasn't... I found myself missing the very... I don't know how to... This is going to sound probably meaner than I intended to, because again, this episode was not bad by any means. But I just found myself missing those very intense character conversation and moments. They're just it was all plot, very little character development in my mind.
Yeah, there wasn't, to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in the first third of the episode. But I think there's a lot of good here. I just think that maybe we're so used to the bar that has been set by the rest of the season so far that it was a little less of the things that we love, but it was still good stuff.
Right.
So let's be super clear about that. I think we feel the same.
I definitely do not want to disparage this episode or put it down. I think it accomplished basically everything.
Truly a lot.
Yeah, honestly. It accomplished a lot and basically everything that I'm sure it intended to do. Yes. But you're right. This show has set a extremely high bar for itself this season. So
yeah,
that's just the way it be sometimes.
Let's jump into some initial thoughts here. Let's walk through this. Let's walk through the episode just a little bit.
My favorite part of this early section, and probably the only humorous thing that happened in this episode, was Daemon laughing at the funeral.
Yes. Very good.
It was Daemon gonna Daemon. I mean, we know that. Jog my memory. It was in relation to like
this, like he's talking about the blood.
The
of
blood of
House
the yeah. That's what
Velaryon,
right.
like,
And he
keeping it
looks at her
strong.
kids and is like, "Yo, okay." It's just like I think Aegon says
So
later in the
funny,
episode,
dude.
everybody fucking knows.
Everybody knows.
It's
Look
just
at them.
who is willing to admit it. But yeah,
Right.
I big shouts out to like Velaryon, like priest guy, because he is working that pretty hard. Our blood is strong. It runs thick. There's salt in it. As he's like staring at her children. That's my guy.
It's like if I say this with enough conviction, it will become true.
Yeah. That was very good stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, I've gotta say, I think that this early part of the episode, Amanda called it out when we were watching it, and I was like, yeah, truly. When the funeral starts, like I mean the opening of this episode, it is a cool, like, it's a beautiful scene. It looks fantastic. Like,
whatever
from a production standpoint, but also just like it felt very like fantastic.
Yes.
And like just, I don't know, just different. Like it was just a different type of like feel and like funeral than we've ever seen and felt. I feel
for
like.
sure.
I loved it. I really liked it.
Shouts to like the location scouts for like wherever they're shooting this, all of Driftmark stuff, but yeah, this specifically, like it looks very good. Like it, for a like seafaring fantasy royal household, this all seems like legit and like badass. Yeah. So
specifically when the camera pulled out and Teo pulled out, and you see the casket or whatever it is, like being dragged off the rock.
Yeah.
That scene, I was like, dude, this looks
cool.
Good.
Yeah.
This looks so cool.
For sure.
Big fan of that.
Yep.
Also, the amount of facial acting in the first like 15 minutes of this, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch, like the first 10 minutes of this episode is truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
Dude. Like there is so little dialogue other than the priest.
Yeah.
But there is so much being said with everybody's just like looks at each other and like
so actions funny, and like even just I think of they had to give like the close up of my boy Otto like adjusting his hand of the kingpin. It's like, oh, Otto's hand of the king again.
Right.
Sick.
Right. Yep. Even the pan over to Aegon and he's like, it's just funny, dude. Like it's all so on brand with all these characters we see of their faces, and I like that.
No, big time.
You know, you and I are big fans of the dialogue, but I kind of like this too. That's cool.
Speaking of people making faces, my guy Larys, listen, we need to have a fucking chat here, my dude. Act like you've been there before, buddy. You are creeping and being a fucking weirdo, just so hard.
What is his deal?
I know that you're stoked about being Lord of Harrenhal now, and you're like, you want to get on the good side of the queen, and you just like, you're all about the queen, and you're such a big fan.
You think he's like he has the hots for her? Like,
yes, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, Allison do be looking.
To be fair, yes.
So.
But just grow up. Just grow up, Larys. Like you're embarrassing yourself out here, my guy.
Right.
And I really liked that monologue you had at the end of last episode too.
But like you seem to have lost a little bit of like that finesse, my guy.
That cool like Littlefinger light
mysterious
swagger. Yeah. You think Littlefinger would have been like over there being a creep? I mean, probably
no,
yes.
He absolutely would have.
But not in that way. Not in that specific.
Littlefinger does lay it on thick, man.
He would have at least had like a good quip, and he could have acted like he had been there before, I guess.
True.
Anyway, that's my take on Larys this episode. My old guy
definitely.
Larry.
So Corlys. Let's talk about our guy Corlys for a second. This scene, I actually quite like this scene, but more so because of Rhaenys.
Agreed.
Not because of Corlys. I don't know if there's any Corlys stands out there. Like, there's got to be at least 4.
Very early on, I went on record as not liking Corlys.
Yeah.
At all.
He's just like so like one note.
Yeah.
You know?
Shouts to your girl, by the way, for calling his ass out and being like, I reconciled with that, with not becoming queen. A generation. She says a generation ago. Yeah. Do not pretend like you were doing this for me. I think she even says, tonight of all nights, let's not lie to ourselves. Like, do not pretend that you were doing this for me. This is for you and your, like, quest and thirst for power, basically.
Right.
Which is very reminiscent of what Alicent told Otto when he was first leaving, which I found interesting as well.
Yeah, I like Rhaenys quite a bit. I want to see more from her. I want to see because I feel like this is coming. I feel like the moment where the switch gets flipped and she's like, "Oh hell no!" Like I gotta act. You know, I feel like that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's kind of gonna feel like calling in like some big guns is like what I feel like that's going to end up being. You know.
Do we think that, not to jump ahead to the end, but because we're kind of talking about the Velaryons now, do we think the way this ends because of like they talk about and like the dialogue at the end of like the whispers and like what the enemies will think and everything, do you think the Velaryons are gonna like definitely side with Alicent now, basically against Rhaenyra and Daemon?
I find that hard to think.
Because they're grandkids? Although not really their grand... Well, no, his are. Daemon's legitimate
his
are.
children.
That's right,
yeah. And I also, I feel... do you think we're gonna see Rhaenys on Dragon again? She's a dragon rider, right?
I don't know. I hope so. That'd be badass.
That'd be fucking badass. See, that's what I feel like. It's gonna be like oh shit, like we're calling in the 18.
Yeah. She dusts off the old dragon saddle and just goes fucking ham. That'd be rad as hell.
That would be fucking cool, man.
That would be cool. Because she is cool. I think she's a very interesting character.
She is definitely. So I don't know. I think because of that, and like when I'm thinking about like the good guys quote versus the bad guys quote, like side A and side B.
Right.
I don't think like story-wise it makes a whole lot of sense for the Velaryons to not be with Daemon and Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
who else would they have?
I feel like we've said this for several episodes now, but I still don't know where they're gonna land. Like what side of this conflict?
Because okay, like so let me, not from what we're seeing on screen, but purely from like a story writing standpoint. I feel like if there was another, like, let's call it a faction that we could assign to Daemon and Rhaenyra's cause, they would have been introduced in some way, shape, or form by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the only thing else that I can think is the Veil, because of Daemon technically is like the inheritance of that.
There's
like those lands.
There's also the possibility of like Daemon having spent so much time across the Narrow Sea, you know, maybe even a foreign army.
True. Yeah, that is fair.
You're right because of the grandkids thing, but there's also what made me think of they might be on opposite end sides of this conflict is the whole like what's her name speech about like fire versus water, almost like, you know, the sea versus, you know,
right,
House Velaryon being the sea and House Targaryen being the fire. I know it wasn't exactly meant in those exact terms,
sure,
but it kind of seemed like it could have those kind of connotations. I don't know. I still have no idea where they're gonna land, I guess.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting going forward. But we're jumping way ahead to the end.
I mean, this is our show.
That's
man.
true. We do.
This is us just talking about stuff, like usual.
So we called it wrong. We assumed that the girl was going to get the dragon, as did she. But it's our boy Aemond, right?
Aemond.
Almond milk.
Yes.
He goes, Mr. Almond milk.
Original.
Yeah, Prince Almond milk goes out there and tames Vhagar.
I like this a lot.
Do you? Okay, I was curious
really
about this.
Okay, I hope you do. But
I knew you were big mad about not getting to see like Vhagar coming back into the story, and now I was like, oh, here you go, Zach. You get to see it kind of now, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, like, would I have expected there to be like more of a trial in a sense, like more obstacle to like tame the dragon? Sure,
Yeah.
But I still think this scene was beautifully done. It was enormous. Like it just felt massive, and I really liked that.
Yes, it's crazy how good that dragon looks. Like I know it's kind of dark, and it's easier to hide like flaws in CGI and like dark lighting versus bright sunlight and what have you.
I have an editing issue. I want to.
Okay.
Just don't let me forget.
But holy shit, that dragon looks good when it's like flying once he's on his back and everything. Like you can like see its like muscles and the arms like in the wings, like straining and like pushing against like the air. Like that dragon looks very impressive.
And not only that, but just the sheer magnitude of this dragon is just cool, man. It's just cool. Like I feel like a little kid like discovering fantasy.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool.
They made you feel that size difference, and that was very effective.
That's what she said, man. Dude.
It was super effective for sure.
It was super.
What was your editing quibble?
Yeah. So all of the nighttime scenes here. This is gonna be very like nitpicky.
Mm-hmm.
All of the nighttime scenes were all daytime scenes. They were just edited to look dark.
I thought they looked a little.
They looked like there's just something weird and off about them, and it's because of that.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee
a filter.
They are that they are daytime shot, but like there's even a couple scenes where like you can see them like squinting like because of the sun.
What would be the reason for doing that way? Do you know? I know you're.
I mean, honestly, probably just to keep. So, like, when you obviously, there's a big difference when you're using a $30,000 red camera, like film quality camera. But the higher you have to like up your exposure or like let in more light, the slower like movement will drag.
Sure.
So like you'll get motion blur, and you'll also start to get grain if you like increase your exposure or ISO or it's really tricky to shoot at nighttime. If you're going to be shooting a lot of movement like that. Like it's okay if you're shooting at nighttime that's like spotlit.
Sure.
But if you're going to be shooting a lot of movement, it's tough. So I think probably because of the dragon scene, they did it like that.
Okay, that's probably fair. But I mean, like, this is going to be weird timeline wise, but we just recorded the episode Watches on the Wall for the Game of Thrones side of things.
Yeah.
And that I know they legitimately did like night shots for. And it's an entire battle scene at night.
There's a ton of light though. Like from fire.
I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. It's like they
there's
didn't want to have unnatural like light sources in the shots, so they all right, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I don't know. Just I'm nitpicking. It was noticeable.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm bringing it. It just looked a little like. That's a little weird.
I didn't notice it as much in the dragon scene, but especially towards the end of the funeral, as it was getting like darker, I noticed I was like, this doesn't look.
It's like the same shots. They just put the fucking nighttime filter.
Yeah. So.
Anyway. So I mean, it helps keep sharpness. To be fair,
Sure.
like it helps keep like the daytime quality of picture just they're editing it in a way to make it look dark.
There's just something that looked a little funky about it.
Yeah, I didn't, and so I wasn't a fan. But whatever, we don't need to spend.
But Vhagar looks good. I think we can agree
Vhagar does
on that.
look badass.
Vhagar's like 600 years old. You still look good, girl. You looking fine, girl.
Wait. Vhagar's like 100 years old.
No way.
Maybe a little bit older.
Is that all it's been?
Yeah, this is
I don't know the timeline off the top.
This
of
is
my
like
head.
200 years before Game of Thrones, so 100 years after Aegon's
Was it
conquest.
only 300? Man, my timelines are. Where this is in the timeline still extremely confuses me. Anyway.
I need to correct something from last week, by the way.
Okay.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, was I kind of drunk last week when we were recording?
You were definitely.
I was, okay. I don't know.
You had pounded like an entire bottle of wine, as I recall.
That's right. I was pretty drunk last week.
Was it this episode or was that the Game of Thrones episode? That I don't remember.
I think it was House of the Dragon.
Okay, all right.
So for some reason, I said her, like, Alicent's name was Elizabeth Stone, I think.
Yeah, dude, I don't know where that's just a Game of Thrones name. Like,
yeah, I know, dude. What, like,
you're like, yeah, I think it's Eric Snow.
Dude, I don't know. Like, I literally have no idea where I pulled that name out of. Like,
you pulled it from the bottom of your bottle of wine is where you pulled it.
That is where I pulled it. Yeah. Her name is Olivia Cook. I had half of my statement right.
Just missed it.
She was a young actress in Bates Motel, and she is fantastic in that. But I don't know why I said Elizabeth Stone.
I love it.
So
I'm here
look,
for it.
On record, I'm correcting myself. I'm an idiot. I was very.
Her name is Obadasand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you miss it? Her name is Obadasand.
Obadasand.
Oh my God.
God, I am not excited to watch. Season 5.
Boy, that's gonna be a thing.
Anyway,
we'll have fun with it.
All right, let's talk about these kiddos getting into a little scrap.
This is more than just a little scrap. I'd say. This shit,
a pillow fight here.
They get real serious real quick. At first, I was like, "Oh shit, you shouldn't shove a girl like that, damn." And then it's just like they start swinging, and rocks and knives get involved, and I'm just like, "Shit, this."
Yeah, I kind of thought a kid was gonna die.
I thought that obviously the one kid had just bonded with Vhagar, so I knew he wasn't going to die. I thought one of Rhaenyra's 2 kids was going to die.
Right, or Daemon's kid.
Yeah, I was less... I thought for sure... Maybe, but I thought it was going to be one of Rhaenyra's, like the younger one or something.
Yeah, man, that was intense, man. These little kids just getting down, dude.
Man. Hey, shouts to Rhaenyra's kid for like standing up for themselves and for their cousins, I guess.
How much older is Aemond?
I don't know, but it was 4-1.
Because he was fucking them up.
It was 4-1 and he was kicking their asses.
Yeah.
He can't be that much older, old almond milk.
You think you could take 4 kids if one of them has a knife?
No, I couldn't take. Listen, I have nieces and nephews. I can't take 2 of them at a time, and I'm like a 3. They're like 8 and 10. If more than 2 of them come at me at a time, I call timeout, and Uncle Scotty's got to go take a nap.
I've got to go take a nap.
I'm just donezo, man.
You're
they love
to
wrestle, and I'm just like, you guys tired me out within 5 minutes, man. I'm done. I gotta take a nap.
So funny, dude.
I'm like Viserys. I'm like, I just need a nappy, man. Dude. Come on. But yeah, those kids win. Those kids go after it. Listen, I know kids do. They have less fear than adults do a lot of times.
So this whole mess that is caused because of this I enjoyed this a lot.
I think this was probably my favorite scene of the episode. Was this?
I think us talking through this, I think I'm realizing I like this episode a little more than I initially thought, because each section I'm liking it.
Sure.
Like I have enjoyed it quite a bit. But man, this whole thing is lots of tension.
Yeah.
But not in the very like I don't know if elegant is the right word to say, but like not the type of tension that we felt during the feast. Right, like with the green dress. Like not that type of tension build, but this was just like this is an actual mess.
Oh
like
shit, she's wearing green.
I know, right? Yeah. But like even the kids screaming, like this was just chaos.
Yeah.
This was just like
very
havoc.
much chaos, yeah.
And I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Viserys, my fucking guy, Paddy Constantine, old, decrepit, sorry ass dude, still acting up a fucking storm.
Still crushing it.
Still crushing it. So angry at everybody just being ridiculous.
I loved his outburst where he's just like, we are all family, for God's sakes. I don't care what you do or how you do it, but make fucking peace, because I've had enough of this bullshit. And it's like, yeah, they're not gonna.
I did like I liked the very subtle, like it's very quiet and people are like, okay, and then Alicent is like, that is insufficient.
Yeah, Alicent,
that is insufficient, dude. She's kind of showing up in some ways that I'm enjoying her.
She overplayed her hand, and I feel like definitely, obviously, let her temper get the best of her here.
Of course.
But as Otto said, I'm glad to see that she has it in her.
I have this quote, well, just this one little portion of it.
Sure.
I loved it. Super, super, super subtle, but it's like, I didn't know that this side of you existed, and she says, it was an ugly side. And he said, we play an ugly game. And I was like, damn, that's Otto Hightower right there, man. That's a motherfucker.
Here's my, I guess, I don't know if this is an issue or how to even address this, but like,
okay,
on the side of like who to root for, it's like, I like Alicent and I like Otto.
Yeah.
Larry, I'm less sold on after this episode. But I hate her kids.
Yes. I like Aemond.
He's all right. Almond milk's okay. I hate it. I hate for the record, almond milk is disgusting, but that's a conversation.
What? No.
Hate it. Tastes like chalk. Tastes like liquid chalk. It's awful. And I will die on that hill.
You are absurd.
Nope. We'll do our milk tier ranking some other time. It'll be right after the potato one.
Fuck.
I kind of like Daemon and Rhaenyra's kids, and I mostly like Daemon. I hate Rhaenyra so much.
Yeah.
So much. So
I see. I don't know that I feel that negative about Rhaenyra, but I don't like her.
I don't like her.
I definitely like Alicent more than Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Simply because Alicent is more interesting.
Correct. Agreed. Also, Rhaenyra's way stupider.
Rhaenyra's dumb.
She's real dumb.
She did have a good plan and is thinking forward, and actually she is now actually in a position where she's like, oh shit, like I need to get my shit together.
Yeah, she's finally,
and I think that's what's forcing it.
Right. She's finally actually starting to play a game, just as opposed to just doing whatever the hell she feels like for the last however many years. So I respect that she's finally doing that, but it's almost like Alicent has forced her hand into doing that also.
Yes.
So
yes,
I don't know how much credit to give her, but it's like Aegon sucks. Aemond is okay. But I'm not mad at the show for not giving me someone to root for, like, oh, this side, those grays, those, no one is truly a good guy, no one is truly a bad guy, is what I love about this world and the other series.
Yes.
Anyway, so, it's just an interesting dilemma,
It is definitely. I do wonder, so like, I know that there's a lot of very adept television, film, and book like consumers out there, watching the show. But like for the casuals who just like watch TV, just to like watch it, just to like enjoy it, I wonder if that's going to be an issue, like in this show. I wonder if that'll be an obstacle for them.
Could be, because like there's not truly the Starks. We root for the Starks,
Right.
type
Yes,
of situation
exactly.
in this show.
See, I do feel like I have, because I've seen a lot of like casuals, like like posting and things like that, and a lot of people out there just think that like Rhaenyra is like the champion. Like they just think like she's
those
like
filthy casuals, as
like
Zach
like a
calls.
lot of casuals. Yeah, you fucking
filthy casuals,
scum, dude. Fucking
the
casuals.
disdain in my guy's voice over here is just like, I've seen a lot of casuals. the casuals out there. That is so funny. Sorry, continue.
That's very funny. God, you made me sound like a dick. I guess I made me sound like a dick.
You're taking my role this episode.
But I don't think that there's a lot of casuals out there.
I think most of them like Daemon, right? Like Daemon is their guy.
Daemon's kind of the thing. And so naturally they're going to root for Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
But like even in the Rhaenyra versus Alicent debate, so I've seen so many people hate Alicent.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I don't get that.
Because none of this was like her choice in the first place. Like her father forced her into the Viserys thing.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I saw, from what I could tell, she on multiple occasions tried to continue to be friends with Rhaenyra. While Rhaenyra was being a little, crybaby about it.
Yeah.
And then Rhaenyra goes and has bastard children. So like, what is Alicent supposed to think and do? Like that's
right.
That's an insult to her and her children, like directly, So it's like, I don't get where, that Alicent dislike comes from at all. Like truly. Yes, she lost her temper here and overreacted and overplayed her hand a bit, for sure. Not her best moment. But as Otto says, it's a dirty game we play. So, and I'm glad to see her playing it. Good for her. So,
yeah. There's also, but before we move on from this whole like chaos scene, I hated Aemond's line. It was so corny when he goes, "Do not mourn me, mother. It was a fair exchange.
Yeah.
I may have lost an eye, but I gained a dragon."
That's your boy. That's the one that you just said
corny,
was okay.
Dude.
Corn.
Fucking corny ass almond milk over here.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty cringe.
Yeah. It was super cringe. Look, whatever. Like,
really good scene though. Overall, like,
yes,
it definitely had me on the edge of my seat. Patty crushed it as always.
The thing that makes that corny ass saying kind of work is Otto kind of like reaffirming it. Saying your son kind of has it. Hit the nail on the head, basically. Like, that's a small price to pay to bring Vhagar onto our side.
Yeah, the biggest dragon in the world, for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I feel like we saw this coming, and we knew it was coming. Was Daemon, and Rhaenyra.
I feel I've been calling this since episode 1.
Yeah. I mean, we've been dancing around this for 6 episodes now. And they finally, get down and dirty in the sand, get that rough, coarse, and irritating sand.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Well, before we get that, we have Rhaenyra and Laenor, their conversation.
No. We actually skipped them.
Oh, sorry. No. You're right. You're talking about just them.
Right.
Banging. My bad. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what else. There's not much that I feel like needs to be said there. It's just like, we knew this was coming.
I do think it's a little funny. Like, I get that. No, actually, this is the same night.
A lot happens this night.
It's very funny that it's like, yo, that was your wife's funeral.
Yeah.
Did you love her? And he's like, we were happy enough. And she's like, wow, that's pretty good. Hey, I kind of really want to fuck you though. God damn. damn, dude.
Yeah, that definitely
Shoot
happened.
your shot,
I
Rhaenyra.
also had that thought during the episode. I'm like, man, you just walked away from your wife's funeral, dude. I mean, I know you were laughing during your wife's
and
funeral,
was
but
hot too, man.
true.
God damn.
But yes, then this episode just kind of goes from like it's been at like a solid cruising speed for like the entire episode, and it just like hits the afterburners during like the final 5 minutes of this episode.
Dude,
it's like,
I
oh, now
felt
we gotta
like
go.
In in Spaceballs when he hits the hyper jump.
Ludicrous speed. It's like we gotta go to ludicrous speed.
And Darth Helmet. Fuck. Oh
yeah,
my
no,
God,
definitely.
Dude. Yeah, that's how I felt. Look, it needs to get there.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about it. Like I'm not complaining about the swiftness.
The one thing I kind of took issue with was like, did we need to also get their wedding? Like the way it happened is like this literally all took place in like a single day.
Yeah.
It was like my wife's funeral in the evening, we fuck during the night, then we make this plan to fake Laenor's death.
I mean, it is obvious that this is way later though.
You think so?
Yeah, because Daemon goes and travels to the fucking Stepstones to go meet with the fucker that...
I guess that's true. Was that just like Driftmark's port? Was he all the way back in the Stepstones? This timeline doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I just think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. You're right. It is. For the viewer, it doesn't matter if there's a 3-month gap or not. It is a split second from scene to scene. So
it literally happens while they're doing voiceover work for the whole thing. But yeah, like, okay, so I'm assuming that was that just like a guard that Daemon like killed was who they used to fake the death?
I mean, it had to have been someone related to the Velaryons because...
Well, yeah, how are they not gonna, like...
It was a black person.
Right, how are they not gonna, like, miss him? You know what I'm saying? Like...
Yeah.
Aren't they gonna be like, hey, has anyone seen Fred? Like, where's Fred at, guys? Hey, Fred's been missing ever since Laenor burned to death. Kind of strange.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting. Like, I guess the way that I am understanding, like, is that they have cast like all of the Velaryons are black,
right?
So it's got to, like, I feel like he's got to be related to them.
I feel like
in some way. Definitely could be wrong, but yeah, no, that is really interesting.
It was also just so bizarre because I was like, why would that's like his lover? Why would he like kill his guy? And then they like tried to like, you always scorned me and looked down at me. Of course it was all fake and what have you. I was like, okay, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. Not a bad plan. I mean, other than the dead body person.
Right, that's like, the one part of
just
it
a little
that I'm like,
strange.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I liked it. You know, I like a little ruse every now and then.
And they're also like, hey, if we have our wedding like the day after, after his wife died and the day after my husband died, is that cool? Like, is that gonna throw up any red flags? 2 days, 2 days for him, 1 day for me. Is that good? Are we good?
Yeah, that's enough time.
That's fine. Their kids are just standing in the background, still crying over their parents.
Seriously. Okay, so I appreciate that we get Laenor and Rhaenyra having this conversation. I appreciate it quite a bit because like there were a lot of jokes made about like, yo, like you couldn't have like turkey basted.
Yeah,
like,
we did talk about that quite a bit, yeah.
So I'm glad that they
turkey
at least
basted.
like yeah, come on, you turkey baste a baby, let's go.
What? Oh yeah, that's 100%. Yeah.
So I'm glad that like they at least address it.
Yeah, they
like,
try to explain like, listen, we gave her the old college try, you know.
Yeah. So I appreciated that, and I did like. I've never really felt any one way or another about Laenor, but I did like that he was like very. Like it seemed like very genuinely like disappointed in himself.
Right before we get the final turn of the episode where we find out he's alive, I was like, yo, what the hell, Rhaenyra? The dude just like makes this big confession to you and like reaffirms his like loyalty to you, and I will raise these boys. And then you go outside to Daemon on the patio and you're like, hey, we should kill that dude. We should definitely kill that.
Totally kill him.
Hey, Laenor, you know my husband? Yeah, we should kill the shit out of him.
Fucking dead.
I was like, yo, what the hell, dude? And then it turns out it wasn't real, but still.
Yeah. Amanda was like, as it was happening, Amanda was like, oh, this is fake. This is
really?
all ruse. Yeah.
Good on Amanda.
Good for her.
I just thought Rhaenyra was that cold-blooded, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Wouldn't put it past her.
Kind of sucks.
She don't care. She don't give a hell.
Okay, so then we get the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I blinked and they were getting married. So that's pretty tight. Good for them.
Yeah. The kids love it. Like I said, they're literally still.
You would think that like
we
would get more of a wedding scene though, like for a royal wedding.
Well, that makes me wonder, like, how on the up and up is this? Like, does Viserys even know this is happening? You know?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think so. Something tells me that this is done somewhat in secret, and then they're just gonna like show up at Dragonstone or at King's Landing and be like, yo, what up? Yo. We're married, bitches.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, man. 3 episodes left though.
Yeah. Damn.
This is man, I've got to say, dude, I'm just so happy this is a thing right now.
Yeah.
7 episodes in, I am just like, yes, please.
I'm very happy it's been as good and as solid as it has been. Like, I think episode, was it 3 or 4 excluded? It was 4. I have not been like disappointed or disliked a single one of them. And it's not like I hated that one. But yeah, man, it's just been really fun, really intriguing. It's kept me guessing. It's kept me on the edge of my seat at times. It's fun to talk about. Like, they're, endless meme potential and just fun stuff to have with it.
Right.
It's just been a fun ride, and I'm not to throw another fantasy show under the bus, but it's just like the total opposite viewing experience I've had so far with that.
Yes.
It's this one so far. So
yes. On that note, I just have a quick comment to share with you from a coworker of mine.
Uh-huh.
One of my friends at work who was on my new team, we kind of bonded a little bit over like some nerd stuff. Said that basically the same way that you and I feel about Rings of Power is how he feels about House of the Dragon.
That's
right now.
wild.
He's like, there's no interesting characters. Like, he's like, I just like, I'm like, are we watching the same show?
That is wild to me.
That is bizarre, dude.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I don't know show he's watching, but
there are this is maybe for a different podcast, but there are a lot of people I feel like that are determined to like Rings of Power because there were so many people that were like lore pissed off about it. Like, because of that, like, oh, it's not true to Tolkien. There's so many people that are like outwardly like, no, this is good. This is great. Like, stop being so like bent out of shape over it. And it's like, no. This has nothing to do with that. Like, it's just not good television.
Yeah,
dude.
I still have literally not watched past episode 2. What's interesting is I know people, shouts to Mox, my coworker, who refuse to even give...
Wait. You have a coworker named Mox?
Yeah, Mox. Yeah.
What a fucking name. What a guy.
It's pretty rad.
Does Mox listen to the show?
No, because he doesn't watch House of the Dragon.
Oh.
He refuses to give it a shot because of how much episode or season 8 of Game of Thrones hurt him. I believe is how he has put it before.
Christ,
and I'm like, Mox,
serious?
you need to get over this hurdle, buddy. I'm like, just fucking give it a chance to watch it because it's so good. He's like, well, yeah, but you don't know how it's gonna end. What if it ends shitty? I was like, The journey is its own reward, my guy. Come on, like you gotta just enjoy it
like,
for what it is.
It's like by that merit, never watch another television show ever.
Listen, I have tried to call Mox out on this many times, and maybe
Mox,
he can.
Your name isn't that cool.
Mox needs to come onto the show to defend his own honor. But buddy, just watch the show. Like, give it a shot. It's so good. We're all telling you to. Anyway, so I'm sure there are more people other than him out there like that, though. To be honest.
Yeah. Oh, there are.
Yeah. So
there are. I constantly see like on TikTok, like somebody will post something about House of the Dragon, and the comments are flooded with like never going back after season 8, and it's like, dude, you people suck, bro.
Grow up. That's a big grow up moment.
Grow the fuck up. Make your own decisions on something. Like, is it good or not? If it's bad, sure. If you don't like it, fine.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Come on, bro. It's like anal. Just try it. You know?
It is exactly like that.
Look, if you don't like it, fine. But just because, like, you had a big shit one time and it hurt, come on. You know? Like,
and the fucking show.
That's going to do it for us here. No, actually, it's...
It's a big shit.
Scotty, what do you rate the episode, man?
Fuck. I don't know. Our rating system for this season, I feel like, has been totally fucked already.
Doesn't matter. Who's fucking counting,
7.
Bro?
A solid 7.
Man. You like you a good solid 7.
I love me a good solid 7.
Do we make that same joke
literally every fucking episode?
Every week.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'm gonna go 6.5. No.
You kept talking about, I'm liking this episode more and more as we talk about it.
You know
I think I like this episode more than you,
7.5.
Squat.
7.5.
I'm gonna go lower than you. Jesus.
7.5.
Before we get in more anal talk, we should probably get out of here. I mean, I would love to have more anal talk with you, but after.
You just let down all of our listeners, man. They were all here for the anal talk, dude. It's the only thing they do.
Oh, man.
Guys, we appreciate you all for listening, watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing if you are new. We appreciate all of that stuff. I haven't said this in a while, but we still got merch up. We got sick-ass baseball tees. Scotty's wearing one right now.
Ooh,
Scotty, show the peoples. Sweet baseball tees. We got some hoodies. We got some dildos. Just kidding. We don't have dildos. No. Those will come soon.
False advertising.
As will you. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at We Don't Want to Pod, and join the Discord. We're talking about House of the Dragon every week. We're sharing memes. We're talking shit. It's a good time. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.